Welcome to Switch It Up. I'm really excited. This is part 2 of our RV lifestyle series that we're putting together for you to make decisions on. Basically, are you ready to go and live this lifestyle? Didn't I just say that? Just said that, didn't I? Doesn't matter. I do that a lot.
Yes, and we all just follow along.
Yeah. I kind of talk in circles sometimes, and I apologize. But I am excited that that's what we're going to bring to today. We're going to talk about decisions and gnats. Lots of gnats.
No, we're not talking about gnats. We're just talking about the first 2 decisions you need to make before you can make other decisions.
Before you move forward.
Yes.
So what do we really need to do right now?
We need to roll the intro so we can talk about those 2 decisions you need to make.
Yeah, before I swallow a bug.
Just roll the intro.
Just lots of fun.
A man and a woman left their home to switch things up and go on the road. They didn't know where they would go, but it's gotta be better than staying home. They switched it up. They switched it up.
This is where you normally say, and we're back. What a great intro.
Yeah, that's what I say.
That is what you say.
We're in a great location right now. If you look, there's a cool truck. Got this windmill. We got the rig back here.
We are mooch docking from a friend right now.
Which is awesome to be able to share this, but also share part 2.
Yes, so part 2
is called the decisions.
Yes, you have to make, there's 2 decisions you have to make before you can continue to make any other decisions.
Okay, lay it on me. Lay the decision number 1.
Decision number 1 is how often are you going to be in your RV?
Yes.
You're very forceful all of a sudden.
I don't know, that wasn't really an answer, but
Yes.
I just thought I'd throw you off because she can't handle that stuff.
Yes, he likes to do that to me. He likes to just throw me off.
Decision number 1, how long you're going to be in?
Right, so right now we are full-time.
Okay, so you're going to give how many definitions? How many?
3.
There's 3 definitions we're going to do. Okay.
Full-time,
Yes.
seasonal,
Yes.
and occasional.
And occasional.
So full-time, you're in your RV, living, you would say you're predominantly in your RV.
That's us.
That's us. But you could also be, there's 2 ways to be full-time. Full-time, no house as a home base.
Okay.
Or full-time, you still have a house as home base that you go back to every once in a while.
Yes, and we are trying to decide if we want to do that because we don't have a home base currently. We have a place where we're storing all of our stuff, but we're not going back there and staying 2 and 3 weeks.
Right.
4 weeks, whatever. We are basically full-time without a home base.
Yeah, so we're trying to think, okay, well maybe our next thing for us might be full-time with a home base.
Yeah.
It's kind of what we're processing right now. If you're seasonal...
Yes. Way to bring that back around.
If you're seasonal, you might just be out for a season. Maybe you are a teacher and you can be gone for the summer season.
Oh,
or
okay,
maybe,
that makes sense,
maybe you have a home base and you just want to escape the cold, and so you go somewhere for the
like
winter
2,
season.
3. And that can be in a permanent, like we had an occasion where we had an RV, we stuck it at one place for that season, which would be a summer season, and we went down to it. Now that season could be multiple places, but it's still a season of time. It's not like, does that make sense?
Sure.
No, I'm saying not like a weekender, because that's what you're getting ready to talk about.
That's occasionally,
right.
Yeah, like how often are you in your RV? So you might just be in your RV occasionally, regardless of where it's at.
Right.
You're occasionally going to go to it, maybe down to the lake.
But it might be like only a week, whereas the other one, the seasonal, might go somewhere for 30 days or go somewhere 2 weeks here, but they're gone for that amount of time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They're gone for a season.
What comes into play though when you're talking about these different aspects? Because that's a decision in that decision as well. You were talking earlier when we were off camera about like it even might affect money.
Right. Well, so maybe like we've met people that are full-timing, but they're also working.
Yes. We'll cover some of that in a future video too.
Yeah, but maybe they're still working, they're working remotely. They have the ability to work remotely. Friend that he works still 8 to 5.
Right.
And then in the evenings and the weekends, they go see their new surroundings or move their rig to their next spot. So they're still working, but they're full-timing and still full-time working.
And you have to kind of compare it. You have to put all that into that decision because we are not independently wealthy. We're traveling off of savings and then what's being done on this channel, which reminds me to do all the things by liking, comment, and subscribing, because it helps us continue to share this information to other people. And YouTube likes that because then it shares this video because they figure out it's more important. So make sure you do those things.
Might live in it full-time and still be working full-time. Or in an upcoming video, we'll be talking about maybe ways that you need to supplement your income.
Way to drop that to watch the next video. Yeah.
Not watch another video. Maybe you need to supplement your income through part-time work or working on the road, work camping.
And how do you find it?
How do you find those options and things like that? So today we're just mainly talking about how often are you going to be in your RV, because if you're full-timing versus if you're just going out for an occasional weekend, you might be able to get away with a much smaller rig if you're just going, you know, to the lake for the weekend, versus us that this is our home. So those decisions will be, that decision plays into your next decision,
which will play into one of our next videos.
Yes.
Which will be pretty cool. Is there anything else in that you'd like to talk about in those decisions?
So what, you're either full-timing, seasonal
or occasional. And that weighed into would be also possible money needs along with that.
So you need to think through your financial aspect, how long you're going to be in the RV, and I guess you could say seasonal might be the same thing as part-time, like I'm just going to be in it part-time. You've
got to decide, I'm going to do this. I've watched the other video, and now I want to do this. Now these decisions come into play. Once you answer this, then we'll go into the next as well.
Yep, so how often are you going to be in your rig in your RV choice is the first decision you need to make.
Yeah, and I think that's a very important one.
You know, you might just be at that, you're getting ready to retire. So do you want to be full-time with a home base or go completely full-time? You're just going to go every once in a while. Yeah. Like, that's the main decision that you need to make.
And we've learned on our channel, all the comments, that's why it's so important you leave a comment, is that we've learned that a lot of you are 2 years out. We have a lot of people, you guys are watching Switch Crew, you're 2 years out, we're 1 year out. We had somebody today message me, they bought a Momentum 395 MS and they're today hitting the road, and they were like, we're off, and they sent a picture. So all of us are on, and now them starting today is just one step ahead of you of where your decisions are going to be made, and we're just a few steps ahead of that. We're just sharing with you what are playing into your decisions on hopefully helping.
This one decision is going to lead to what other decisions you're going to make. So start here. First decision is how often you're going to be in the rig.
That's what I thought.
The second decision is what type of camping are you going to do? Are you going to be going to national parks? Are you going to go to state parks? Are you going to be boondocking? Are you going to be in an RV park? Are you going to put it in one spot and just keep it in that spot and it's not going to be traveling around? That's the second decision, because if you're going to say, oh yeah, I want to go to all the national parks, well, you ain't getting a rig the size of Fiona, because she doesn't fit in the majority of all the national parks or state parks. So
we've learned that too.
Yeah, so you have to decide, where is it that you're going to go and what type of RVing are you going to do? Some people have an RV lot that they've purchased that real estate, and that's just the place that they go every time they go out.
Or
they go to that spot.
Or if they own it, they'll rent that spot out too. So it's kind of like this hybrid, having a home base that's really not a home, but it's a place they can put their rig as a home base.
Right, and so there's many options for where you're going to put your RV. But first you got to decide, well, what do you want to go see? What kind of memories you want to make? We've met people that are out to see amusement parks.
Right.
People that are out to see all the national parks. People that are out to do all 50 states. The rig isn't going to one, I can tell you that. Those are the first two things. How often are you going to be in your rig, and what type of camping
I think I got so sucked into the decision number one because I feel like it weighs so heavy on so many other things that decision two is a great, I mean, that's right. You're like, you know what? We got the kids. They're going to have to do school. We're only going to go through the summers. We might do 5 weekends.
And you might be going to national parks, because both of those decisions, how often you're going to be in your rig and where you're going to be going, plays into the next decision, which is our next video about, well, what type of rig do you get? But you can't answer what type of rig do you need until you answer these first two.
And it's starting to get pretty dark, so we apologize about hearing all the cicadas and crickets, but it is kind of, this is what RV life is like. Except boondocking in somebody's front yard is probably not the same. So, but other than that, are we good?
I don't know, are we?
I think we're good. Do you know why I think we're good? I think all I keep looking at is you can close this out, but I think I'm gonna go try to catch some fireflies. Goodbye.
I guess he's out.
Goodbye.
Which means I'm out. So I just hope that this was somewhat of a value to you. Make those first two decisions, think them through, and join us next week on Tuesday when we talk about, well, now that you've made those decisions, let's talk about the next one of what type of rig you're looking for. Until next time, we're out.
Doo-doo.